I don't think I can see it. Oh.
Sorry, Julie, can you confirm if you can see this? That's the first thing.
I can see your screen, yes.
No, no, no. I'm saying the icons that I'm showing. So just go to activities. I don't want us to spend too much time on this.
Sorry, I
I just
think he
need us.
doesn't know where to find activities. The three dots beside the end call button is where you should go.
Yes, yes, I'm there now.
Oh, sorry, no, not the three dots. It's the three icons that look like triangle, square, and circle to the extreme right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so most people found it intermediate. So I like, and when it came to probably how the structure was, like, just okay, the first sheet, you show like information, because we really want feedback. I don't just want us to assume we are doing it. So I would like based on the votes already, this is 40 votes. I'm already saying that okay, most people found it intermediate. So I would like for if anybody wants to probably like speak on that, because it's very good to take feedback. Tayo, you can
Okay.
speak.
One. I noticed that I was trying to do the assignment, but only thing I was able to get was the write up of like the raw material and how we're going to go about the assignment. But couldn't get the Excel sheets for the data for the assignment. So I keep scrolling through all the link that was sent to me. So the only link I was able to get was the write up of how we're going to go about the data, but I didn't see the data Excel to work the data page to work on. So I didn't bother doing the assignments. So
Trying
because
to assume that you saw the like you had the Excel sheet, but you were looking for data. That was the issue.
yes.
Okay, so I'll open the Excel sheet and I'll just like okay, that's noted. Anybody else wants to go to just like speak on probably like their experience?
Okay, so for just to I don't know if this will answer the lady that asked the question. Actually, there was no data provided for that assignment. If
Okay.
you read through the questions, it says you populate with your own data. If I understood the question correctly, so you're supposed to populate the what's it called, the sheets with your own data, and then you work with it.
Yes, thank you so much, Adela. That's actually what I was going to say. Yeah, but like in general, like it's it's just more like if you walk through like even the sheets were for me, I feel like the sheets were arranged according to how you should be able to like just walk through the assignment because the first sheet was introduction. So if you saw that like that all the information about the tables, then also coming to the questions, add the um like the instructions for each question. So you see create a dummy data, create a dummy data. Yeah. So that's for Tyro. I think maybe that would help out for the next assignment because we are obviously going to receive an assignment by Monday once the new video is posted. So that's why we need feedback. 'Cause the first assignment has been being posted. Some people haven't done it, and I'm guessing like the number of people we have, even if okay, the number of people we have that join the call is like probably like let's say an average of 150, right? We haven't received even like quarter of that for assignment. So I know that it could be that people are facing the same issues that Tyro is facing. For people who think that they are meant to find the data, you are meant to populate, and also for people who just in general define it hard, I would like for you to like share what we could work on. And I think I just want to spend like just 3 more minutes on this because we need to also we have a lot for us to do. So anybody that wants to go can go. Itayo, you can say
Yes,
something.
yes. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Um, my name is Osifu. For the first question, I really had serious challenge. The first was to create a drop down list and the rest of them. Now, I didn't know the particular sheet I will use to answer that. I contacted someone, the person said he used employee and product info. However, I used product and cost, product cost and profit. So the question didn't actually direct us to the various sheets to use, because these questions we have watched the videos and they are quite simple to me, but I didn't know which sheet to answer accordingly. Do you get it now? So now one of the question here, I think question 8, he gave us the sheet. He said in cost and profit sheet, something like that, question 8. That was a hint. So we know that this question is related to this sheet, but others didn't. Now another question is create a dummy data. Then they say we should fill up the item column. Then I think that would be, let me check, because I
So
really took time.
can
Okay,
I be very honest? Like even as you're saying the questions, you're already saying the place to find them. So I would just share my screen because like for the first one that you said you found very challenging, right? This is the questions. Create a drop-down list for all the items sold in the column that allows the sales rep to select from the group of items sold. This is already telling you you are selecting from group of items sold and the sales rep is going to be there. Already with that, you already know that item is here. So your drop down list is meant to come here. So I don't want to believe that that would have been an issue if maybe like everything here was already speaking to sales and items. Like you can see items, and you can see sales. You get what I'm saying? So when you went to product cost and profit, like there are literally no items here. So I'm like, okay, so why are you creating drop down list for? Is it the pen? Because those are only the things that you can buy, but those are not even what you're meant to create like a drop down list for. Yes. Yeah, but if you get that,
okay. You're asking me if I did this. However, I know the
no, I'm
data
saying like, did you
validation.
get what I just explained? That like in the questions they were already there, like you already had the hints.
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand that those sales and the items they were
Yeah,
referring to a
that's what I'm saying.
particular sheet.
Like reading the question and going to the sheet that you thought was even already like was already flagging that this is not where I meant to do this. This is total cost, total revenue, total profit. We asked to create a drop down list for you are a sales rep in a company and you need to create drop down list for the items sold. Sales rep, it's go to sales information. So I feel like maybe sometimes it just like sometimes like sometimes because of those words are just they're just like just eating, not eating per se, but you just have to look strategically. So I would just like another person to go Felicity and if you're lower, then before we take a review of the questions. Like actually. Sorry, Felicity and if you're lower.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask was exactly what this guy that just finished asked now. So, we are supposed to do the assignment on an Excel sheet, right?
Yes.
So each Excel sheet should answer one of the questions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now for
So
that
you
populating
can have
data,
a particular sheet answering multiple questions. So it's also there. But yeah, go
okay,
on.
that populating data, the populating data, how do we go about it? Or should we just use the
Creating
random
dummy creating dummy data is based on your speculations, like what you want to put. But some of even the data that you're trying to bring, some of them already have information how it should look. So you're working with pen, pencil. This like if you are populating data, let it be around stationaries. I don't know if you get like that kind of thing. So it's not like it's limited, but you also data is already speaking to giving you idea to what you should populate.
Okay.
So
I'm very sorry for interrupting.
yeah, Emerald.
Please, kindly share your screen as you are explaining those parts, because I don't have my laptop open, so I don't really
Yeah,
get the
I
part you're
think
talking about.
so in full, right? Talking to questions in full. Let like I just want to do a walkthrough. Would after this, like I just want to get right now we are going to actually look at each question like every question like going to it. But right now I'm just trying to get what the problem was. So I'm not necessarily looking at questions itself. So I just want to take Ifelua and Felicity and Olaliko, then we can go into the questions itself.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Based on the assignment, the challenge I encountered was at that number 5, because he asked us to you told us to calculate the total sales made by each employee using VLOOKUP. I think the approximate match aspect. But in the video, the class video that you sent to us, the one they used was the exact match. I didn't see anywhere that they used the approximate. So at some point I was lost. Until now, I'm even yet to even figure it. So I don't know if you can share more light on that
Okay,
in today's
noted.
class.
Let's take Olaliko. So that's noted Ifelua.
Okay, thank you very much, Toby and everyone on this call. So for me, right, it took me time to like figure out what exactly the assignment is talking about, right? But eventually I was able to like identify some of these things. Like the first question, create a drop-down list for all the items sold in the column. And then there's also the hint of data validation. So this kind of says that we should use data validation by if you go to data validation by list, you should create a list from there. Then, and I think the listing is from the cell you have to make use of is from the products, employees and product info. So you go to the product info under items, use that one to create like a data validation on the sales information, sales information column, that is column C on that this thing. And then I guess we are supposed to just pre-populate and decide whichever one is pen, whichever one is binder or pencil, based on our own discretion, and then solve for the rest. I think if we're able to do that, we are able to go forward. Mine is just like I'm just pleading for time. Like I don't have enough time to complete it because it took me a while to.
Yours was time. Okay,
Yeah,
so you have not actually submitted or you submitted like that.
no, I haven't submitted it yet.
Okay. So I think for now, every other question would come like or are you there? Let us start the full walkthrough through the assignment. The second test. Okay. Okay, so who else wants to go first? For question again, let me just take Akintoye and Loato. Akintoye,
Can I go ahead?
yeah, you can.
Okay, so good. Thank you very much. Again, I would like to express appreciation to you, Emmanuel, and every other person working behind the scenes to do this. Mine is not a question, really. It's just maybe I should call it a suggestion or a piece of advice for everybody. The truth is, no matter how well the facilitators of this program do, no matter how well they try to teach us, frankly, they can't cover everything. They can't cover every imaginable scenario. So what I would suggest is, yes, it's good to follow what is being taught in class, but we need to also expand it a little bit beyond that. Excel is, I mean, Google is a treasure trove of information. There are a lot of things you can actually, anything Excel, just type a question in Google and then you see a lot of options, videos, and some practices that will just enable you understand better and enhance your knowledge of what has been taught. So I think it's just a suggestion to everybody. You can always complement what you are learning in class, what you're learning from the videos, with personal research via Google. And it's not just limited to even this program. Any kind of program that you engage in to learn something, you would always need to go above and beyond by yourself. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for that contribution. Thank you. Sorry for uh the varieties you're getting us from. So I've actually seen and I've heard our concern concerning the assignments and the questions. So my a lot of people find it challenging, like not understanding the question at first.
So you're not very audible. You're not very audible.
Okay. Can you hear me now, please?
Much better here.
Okay. So hello everyone. So you're welcome to this session. So I've heard a lot of our feedback concerning the assignments, and also we are going to work on it about the way we present the question next time, so that we can have a better understanding. So a lot of questions I got was that they don't really understand the question, they don't know where to start. Although probably I won't say the question is that hard. It's not really that hard, but majority of what maybe we need to excel or something like that, and we might find it challenging. But it's just everybody's already working. I know it's going to take us a lot of time to figure out the questions, and the process that the time it took us to figure out this question, this is another question coming that way, in that kind of like way, we're able to tackle it. It's also part of the learning, like trying to like struggle to get the question and everything like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the question one after the other, and I will explain better on each question, our concerns, our questions that we have, or what you understand. And I'm very, very sure when we dive into it now, we understand that the question is not really that hard and maybe that tough. So, okay, we take other questions after the session today. So the first one is, let me just share my screen so that we can all follow along. So, yeah, so this is a question. So the first part of the question is like introduction to what you have to like do or differentiate that we have in the Excel workbook. So I expect us to go through this part so that we can know which workbook represents what, and which worksheet represents what type of information am I getting from this worksheet. So we have approximately like 8 worksheets here, including the questions worksheet. So the first one just talk about the introduction, which is this one about the whole fictional company. It's just like a JK Collins relation, sorry, JK stationery store. And what they do is like they deal with stationery items like pencil, pen, and binder. That's what they sell. And so the second information contains employee information. That is the employee they have in that company. So they have their information. When you employ someone, you have information about their probably phone number and some other stuff like that. So we have the employee information and the product information. And this is where we have the employee information. So they currently have 5 employees. These are the name of the employees, and these are the phone numbers of the employees. These are just private information for the employee. Then we have the product information. The product information shows us the product that we are selling, just 3 products: the pen, the pencil, and the binder. So the unit cost, that is how much each pen costs, and unit price is how much each pen is sold for. So it costs $80, while it's sold for what, $120. Same goes for pencil and binder. This one just give us information about the item that has been sold in that particular company. Now, the next one talks about the commission. Now, in JK Stationery Store, they tend to give their employee incentives and or commissions based on their sales amount. For example, now, if an employee make a sales of like $70,000 and above, he's going to get a commission rate of 2%. So if 70,000 unless it's going to get a commission rate of 2%. So if an employee make a sales of like 71,000 to 100,000, it's going to get a commission of 5%. And if an employee made a sales of like 101,000 to 150,000, it's going to get a commission of. So this one is just showing out, okay, based on your sales, there's also a commission, and this is the sales information. So this is the sales information. The order date has already been imputed. The employee ID has already been imputed. So the item we said we should create a drop-down list for the item whereby you can select the item you want to fill in. So I already fill up the quantity sold. So the unit cost, you have to write a formula that's going to populate the unit cost. Write a formula that is going to populate the unit price. Then you calculate the total cost, total revenue. So what we mean in this aspect is this. Now, if I create a drop-down list here, so if I select a particular list like pen, so if I select pen now, so I want this sheet to update itself by bringing out what is the unit cost of pen and the unit price of pen. And the information from that is on this product info. So if I select rabbit pencil now, automatically the sheet will bring out the unit cost of pencil and the unit price of pencil. And if I get the unit cost and the unit price, I can easily get the total cost and the total revenue, which is the multiplication of the quantity by the unit cost for the total cost and the other one for the revenue. So after getting the total cost and total revenue, I can easily get my profit. That's total revenue minus total cost. So that's that. Then we can now find the grand total of the total cost and the grand total of the total revenue. Then we can find the average. So that's for that. Now the next one is the payroll. So the next one is the payroll. The payroll talks about these are employee. Now this is the salary that each employee is collecting now. So this employee is collecting this salary. Now what we is just create a VLOOKUP function here, whereby I can calculate, and also yes, we have to calculate the total amount, total sales amount made by each employee. We can get that from the sales information here. So each employee make a sales. So what we want us to do here is just calculate total amount, total sales amount made by each employee. So from the sales amount, we can get the hello. Sorry, is someone talking? I I can hear you clearly.
I think someone just said you're too fast.
Oh,
So I
sorry,
cannot say
sorry.
slow down.
Okay, sorry about that. So now for this particular employee part now, so what we want to calculate is this. We have the sales amount column. So what we need to do is just calculate the total sales made by each employee. For example, now Robert now he has the employee ID, EID1. So what is the total sales amount made by the employee? Sorry, Robert. You can get that from the sales information. I already put the employee ID of each customer here. So what you can do is just sum up the total sales made by EID1, and you are going to get this one here. So after calculating the total sales amount made by each employee, we want to use this sales amount to calculate their commission. I already have information about the commission rate here. So based on their sales amount, what is the commission that each employee is going to be getting? And we can get that here. So after getting the commission rate, then we can calculate the total salary after bonus. The total salary will now be the commission value plus the salary. That will be the total amount that the person is taking on for this. Now, next to the next one, which is the cost and profit. For the cost and profit, if you check the sales information, these sales for this particular sheet range from 2020 to 2022. So that's it. So we want to do the total sales, the total cost in year 2021, total revenue and total profit. And we want to know the total cost for 2022, total revenue for 2022, and total profit. And that's that. This information you are trying to get here is just by writing the formula. So the whole essence of doing this work is just you understanding how to apply Excel formula and how you can create an automated sheet in Excel, so that when anybody populate the sheet, the formula tends to update itself. Now you coming back to the sheet to change the formula or change something every now and then. So that's the whole essence of this. And for the product too, if you check the profit, the sales information. We are selling three products, which is the pen, the pencil, and binder. So we don't calculate 21, a total profit for pen for 2021. You can get that from the sales information sheet. Same goes for pen for 2022. Sorry, I think I made a mistake here. It should be 2021, 2022. Sorry. So total pen for 2021, 2022, pens for 2021, 2022, and binder for 2021, 2022. Sorry. So that is this assignment. That is this last part. And I think that's where we end the whole question. Now, that's the general explanation overview of the assignment. Now let's take it one after the other and see what we have. Now the first one said create a drop-down list for all items sold in the column. For all items sold in the column that allows the sales rep to select from the group of items sold. So what we are expected to do in this part is under this sales now, sales information, we're expected to create a drop-down list. And how do you create a drop-down list? Is by using the data validation function in Excel. I already explained that. So that instead of like giving the sales rep to be inputting the item which they can make mistake while doing that, you just have to click on the drop down and select the item they are selling at the moment. So that will give us a room to control the type of information that is entered into the Excel sheet, and also to restrain them from inputting the wrong value into the sheet. That is one of the data validation of it. And how can you do that? So we are starting the assignments now. So to create the drop down list, what I need to do is just highlight the whole cell. So after highlighting the whole cell, under data, I already explained data validation to us in what's it called? In our videos. So you come to data validation. Click the data validation. That's all. Click OK. And that's that. So what you need to do is, like I explained there, you just select a random product. So for this one, you can select pencil. That's why I said you fill up this part. So you have to
Please,
select.
can you do it all over again? We missed you. There was a network glitch from your end.
Okay, sorry.
Yes,
Sorry about
yes.
that. So now we are creating a drop-down list for the item. So what you need to do is just, after selecting the item, let me just take that part again. So this is the default set in Excel. So Excel can take in any value. So if I input number, it's going to take it. If I input text, it's going to take it. But what I want us to enter into this item sheet is the item that has been sold in our company. And the three items we are selling is just pencil, pen, and binder. So I want us to create a drop-down list for the sales rep whereby they can just click and pick from the drop-down list the item they are selling at that particular moment, so that they won't input any wrong value or make a mistake in spellings. Provided you want to write pencil, they put pencil or something like that. So I select the whole item, the whole column that I wanted to like populate with the item. Then I go to data validation, select data validation. From data validation, you can see this default setting is any value. That means you can take anything. So I'm going to change it to list. Changing it to list. Now it's asking me where's the source of my list that I wanted to like populate in this particular column. The source of the list is in the employee and product information. That's where you can get the product that we are selling in JK Stationery Store. So I select this part, then I go to the employee information, select the item, registry, click OK, and click OK. And that's it. So I've already created a drop-down list in this item. So this is what we expect to do. So we are expect to fill up this item with like random item. Just pick pencil. Now as I'm coming here, if I click on the next one, it's going to show a drop-down list. I can click binder based on the item I'm selling. So any item that is outside the product or the list created here, Excel is not going to take it. Any item that is outside this particular, Excel is not going to take it. So that is how that one works. So if I click pencil, binder, and everything like that, so it works. So that is that for question 1. Please, are we okay with that?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Welcome, sir. So now, so that's the first question. So the question number two,
Please,
that
I
is
have
in,
a sorry, I have a
okay,
question.
all right. Well,
Regarding this part that you finished, this data validation, I
yes.
copied like when doing the assignment, I copied the three items from the other sheet and pasted it in this column, in this particular item cell,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I dragged down, and it gave me the this thing. Is it the same method or I did another thing before?
Yeah. So actually, this you what you did is right, but that is not doesn't really answer the question. The whole essence of creating this drop down list is just to like ensure that the sales rep enter the correct information. The part that you did that you drag down, there can be error in that part whereby when you copy and drag down, there might be some item that we are not selling that you mistakenly enter, or probably you misspell a particular item. So this part is just to ensure accuracy in the type of data that we enter for this item. So that's why data validation is very, very, very important.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the next part of this is unit cost. So what I want to achieve, if you check the question very well, what I want to achieve is create a total column with an automated formula in the unit cost and unit price columns that populate the unit cost and unit price when the item is selected. So what I want us to do in this part is this. What we want us to do in this part is this. We want us to create a formula here in the unit cost and unit price, whereby if I select any item, probably be it I select pencil, automatically it's going to give me the unit cost and unit price of the pencil based on the information I have in this place. So I don't have to be coming and be inputting the unit cost and the unit price of the item again after selecting the item. Excel should be able to do that for me by just selecting the item, populate the unit cost and unit price, so that there won't be any hanky panky or someone inputting a wrong unit cost, probably lowering the unit cost or increasing the unit cost just for their sake. So it's also to maintain our data integrity and the integrity of the result that we are calculating here. So how do we do that one to create a formula whereby if I select an item, I'm going to get the unit cost and the unit price? I can do that by using the VLOOKUP function. You understand? We already talk about the VLOOKUP function that is used for looking up a value from one table to the other. So how do I use VLOOKUP for this particular one? Equals to for the unit cost VLOOKUP. And the reason why I'm using VLOOKUP is this. If you check the table I'm getting my information from, it is arranged vertically, like I explained the other time. I think I explained that whenever you the way the table is arranged will determine whether you are using VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. So I can use VLOOKUP for this because the table is arranged vertically, not horizontally. So I come to the sales information. So I type in the formula here. So VLOOKUP. So the VLOOKUP, this one is taking the lookup value. So what will be my lookup value to determine the unit cost and the unit price? It is the item. Because that's why I said that when we select an item, we should be able to like populate the unit cost and the unit price based on the item. So the lookup value is the item. So I'm going to select the item value here. Although I've not populated the item, but still I'm going to select it. And I select table array. So my table array is this. Let me table array. Now, if you come here under the table array and let's continue with the formula bar. Yeah. Now you can see the employee C3 and everything. But one thing I want us to notice about this that we've not really mentioned is this. The VLOOKUP function is A35. That's the range of the table, product table, A35 to C38. Now, if I apply A35 to A38 here, let me just delete this part. I want to explain the part here. If I create something here, okay, let me create it so that I can see it. VLOOKUP. Select the algorithm, comma. So for what is the unit cost? What is the index of unit cost? Index of unit cost I'm entering is 2. Unit cost is 2, so I'm going to input 2. That's unit cost on column 2. I explained this in the last class. The next one is am I getting I've already input the column index. Am I getting an exact value or approximate value? Sorry, I made a mistake here. It should be lookup value, which is item, comma, lookup table, employee, column index is 2. While the type of this thing I'm bringing is what? Exact match. I want an exact match, not approximate. So I close this now. Now it's giving me NA. And the reason why it's giving me NA is because there's no any item for we've not select any item for this column. So if I select one item, probably I select binder. So I'm getting the unit cost of binder based on the item I selected. So one thing I want us to notice about this VLOOKUP function is this, and it's all about referencing. So if I try to, I don't want to be writing the formula one after the other, obviously. So if I try to use autofill by dragging it down to apply to the other cells, now there'll be kind of like an issue here. The issue is going to be this. As I'm dragging it down, the range of the table that I select, which is 835 to 638, will also be changing. Because, like I said, the default type of referencing is relative referencing. So and I don't want it to be like that, because if it's changing, then the range of the value that I'm selecting will be changing. So I want to use this range for all the selection. So how can I achieve that? I can achieve that by applying absolute referencing. That you can see the reason why we are bringing this referencing part into this text of stuff. This is the part. That's why we have to talk about them. Now, absolute referencing is that I want to log the range of 835 to 638. But if I apply the formula to other cells, it won't change. That range will not change. So how do I do that? I can do that by just applying $sign in front of 835, you can see, and in front of C38. So this one means that I've locked the entirety of that range. I've locked this table like this. That means I've locked all this table, which is the table I want to be referencing for all cell. So if I drag it down, it's not going to be changing. It's going to be referencing that same range of table, no matter where I drag it, probably down or across. That is down. Okay. So another thing is, okay, I think someone has some question. I see some hands up. Do you have a question? Okay, Imisi Olua.
Um, thank you, sir. I didn't get
Welcome.
this part from after that column index number, the range
Yes.
lookup. I'm sorry, I didn't get it from like
Okay, I will talk that part.
the range lookup. Yes,
The range
yes,
lookup.
thank you.
I'll check that. Okay, Mariam, your hand is up. Okay, so let's go back to it. This is the sales information now. So what we want to do now is like the first thing is our lookup value. Lookup value is the item. So it's the item that will determine the unit cost and the unit price. Now, the table that contains the information we are looking for is this product table. This product info table here. That's the one that contains our information for the unit cost and unit price for all the items. So that's why we select, and the range of the table is C835 to what to C38. I talk about range the other time when we're dealing with range. You state the starting point and the end point. That's the range. So in this case now, if you check this part, it's showing that our range employee product info, that is the name of the sheet, A35 to C38. Now I said we have to lock that range. That's the range we are looking up our price from. That's the product info. We have to lock the range because if I try to drag it down to the other cells, the range will be adjusting itself based on the relative referencing thing. That's the default type of referencing. It's going to be adjusting itself. The only way it cannot adjust itself is that if you lock the range or you give a name to the table. Remember the other time when we are defining name range. So when you give a name to the table, automatically they apply absolute referencing to that table. So if I give a name to a particular range now, it automatically lock it. So no matter where you drag the cell or the value to, it's going to be referencing that table. So in this case now, that's why we are locking the product info range, so that it won't change as we're dragging it down. And we are looking for exact match. So that's that. So if I drag this thing to the other one now, Let's just drag it to the other cells too. So the cell is automated, so they don't have to input in the unit cost or unit price by themselves. So the same formula is what we are going to apply to this next one. So I can just apply, use referencing for this, just drag it down to the next one. So what I need to change for this one is, instead of D3, I'm going to change to D2 because that's what I'm referencing. So, and you can see now the range is still the same thing. And for this one, instead of column 2, I'm going to be referencing column 3. Why is that? Because if you check the employee, the unit price is on column 3, not on column 2. So that is that one. So when you come here now and I drag this thing down for the other one, let's just D2, D35, so column 3. This thing just a little bit. Getting my idea. Something is wrong. So the
The lookup
commission.
value
Okay,
is
see.
supposed to be other stuff.
What is it?
I said I think it's coming from the lookup value.
Yes, I wanted.
It's
Exactly, I
supposed to
wanted to
be
say
from the
not to say.
not from the source information itself.
To get my answer. So if I select any item now, I select probably pencil or binder, actually automatically get the unit cost and unit price. So I don't have to be coming and be putting the unit cost and unit price. And so this part we are just told to like fill it up with something. Let's just fill everything up with pencil and binder. So that's just the whole thing. So I can do everything here. Just do pencil and binder for everything, just to save our time. You can see this one has been populated with pencil and binder, and you can see automatically we are getting the unit cost, the unit price. So after getting the unit cost and the unit price, so the next thing is just to calculate the total revenue and total cost, and that one is quite easy. We know that total cost is unit cost times the quantity, so equals to this multiplied by this, and if you use this one, you just use referencing for it, you get our answer. So this one is just quantity multiplied by unit price, and we get this. And we can also like fill up this thing just like that. And the profit is total revenue by total cost. And we can like that. And you can fill this thing up. Do we get that part? Is there any question about that part? Someone, I see someone's hands up. Okay, Felicity, your hand is up.
Yeah, please. There's a place my data went off. That place where you are using your VLOOKUP.
Yeah.
That area where you use two, was it the number of column, like column B now
Yeah,
is
okay.
number 2?
Yes, this is it now. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So if you come to this part now, if you check it now, I said something the other time when we were talking about VLOOKUP that when you highlight the table that you selected, that is the range of the table that you selected, this item is on column index 1 based on your selection now. So this item is on column 1, unit
Yeah.
cost is on column index 2, while the unit price is on column index 3. So that's why we have to put column 2 for the unit cost. Because it is
Then
column
excuse
index.
me, that one
Okay.
that range you wrote A35 to C something. Where did
That's
you
it.
get the range from?
That's the range of the product table. The range of the product table is this. If you check it, is A35. When we're talking about range, is like group of cells in Excel. When we talk about range, when you're selecting a group of cells. So the whole table that I have here now, the range of the table that I have here, the product info table is starting from A35 and ending at C38. That's the range. You understand?
Oh, okay. So excuse me. That means if it starts at 8:35 and ends maybe at H um
Yes.
30 something, you have to put the whole range.
Yes, you have to put the range of the table that you are looking up. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get that. Okay. So I have someone hands up
That's
too. I have
the same method used for the cost, right?
yes, that's what I use for cost and price.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Hayden. Did I get that right?
Hi,
Yeah.
good afternoon.
Good
It
afternoon.
can work for now. I keep getting an error message in the VLOOKUP, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Okay. What
Um,
what
so
okay. I'm with you.
I basically for the VLOOKUP, the first um lookup value, I have C3, which is where and the first item I have there is pen.
Okay.
Then for my table array, I have the same thing. The employees and product info 835 to C38.
Yeah. So when you drag
For
it down, or
the
do you look to
column index, no,
okay?
the
I'm
very
sure.
first one is not even is giving me error. The very first, so I'm on the very first line of that table trying
Okay,
to
okay, okay,
work out the
okay.
code, and it's not just going. It says the input content does not conform to the constraints, so I'm a bit confused.
Okay. Are you talking about this item because or this unit cost part?
Okay, so on the sales information sheet, where
Yeah.
you have unit cost, and
Yes.
you need to use a VLOOKUP function to get that
Yes.
unit cost.
Yes.
It keeps coming up with an error message for me. Like the VLOOKUP it's not
Uh,
just
uh,
plain ball.
so
So
for
that's why I'm
this,
trying to explain the values I have in it.
okay. So actually for the VLOOKUP, for you not to work, probably there is a you are missing a formula or something, a unit, a parameter is missing. So let me just go over it again, like just briefly go over it so that you can try it at your end there and see whether it works. Just follow along like now. So the first thing about VLOOKUP is this: whenever you select VLOOKUP, let's say we have something like this now. Let me just delete this. So let's delete this. Now for the first part of it, equals to VLOOKUP. So if you look up when you select them, they bring out parameters like what you have to enter at every part. So the first one is asking for the lookup value. So lookup value is what you are using as a search pattern to look up the unit cost. And for this one is the item. So I'm going to select the item cell, which is the C3 on my cell there. Now, after selecting the lookup value, you go to the table array. You select the table array. The table array is the table that contains the information or the table you are looking up from. So that's the table you are getting your information from. That's the table array. So the table array is under the employee and product info, and is the product info that I have here. So I'm going to select this table array now, and that's like C35 to sorry A35 to C38. That's the range of the table array. I can do something whereby I can give a name to the table array. You can go ahead and do that just to like avoid this C35. So if you name select the range, we already talk about define a name range. You can give a name to it, product info. So after doing that now, I said we have to lock the range A35 to C38 because if you don't lock it, if I drag it down, the table array will be adjusting itself to the next cell, and I don't want that because I just really want to reference this range of table for all my calculations. So how do you apply dollar sign? By applying dollar sign to this, or you can use function F4 for just getting that one. So applying dollar sign. So I've already locked it. Now the next part of this thing is asking me for the column index. What is the column index of unit price of the product info? You notice that the first one is item, then unit cost, then unit price, and that's the table that I selected. Now for that particular table, the column index of unit cost is on column 2. Your column index with the is majorly determined by your selection range. You understand now? So it doesn't mean probably the position of the column in the Excel sheet is your selection range. So it's on column 2. Select column 2. Press enter. The next one is an exact or approximate match. So it's an exact match. So I'm going to select exact match here. I close the bracket. So that's just the formula. So if I click enter now, then I get my answer. So whenever you select anything here, probably binder, you are going to get your corresponding unit cost and unit price for it. So that is that one. So you can try that at your end and see probably where you're getting.
So
Okay.
that's what I was trying to explain to you from the beginning, that I have done exactly what you
Same
said to
thing.
do, and it's still not my error. Yes, that's why I was trying to tell you what I have for each of the range, each of the values in the function.
Okay. There is something wrong. So the thing is this, just um snap the what's it called now? Just snap the error message that we're getting or the thing that I get. Send it to the group page. I will look into it and provide an answer to that.
I send it to where?
You can send it to the group page.
Group page, but it's locked. You can't send messages to the group page.
Okay, you can send it to me.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So okay, that's that for that. Let's go to the next question that we have. So the next question says, create a dummy data to fill up the item column and calculate total cost, total revenue, profit. Yeah, I've already done that. So calculate the grand total and everything. So for the grand total, that one is quite easy. Yeah, you can just go to the grand total here. Under the sales info, you all know what the grand total is. Like just come here and use sum. So the grand total is going to be sum. So that thing is like H2 to H, whatever it is that we have here. Then we get that. And you can see H46. What's this one? So this one is going to be I2. So I2 to I. That's for the grand total. That's the sum. So we can get that average too. Average is H2. So last part here. Let me just drag the formula to the other one. So that's that. So we get the grand total and grand total for the unit costs. So we can also get down for this other one, which is the total costs. So that will be G2 colon the last G. That's that. And this one is average. So you can do average. So that is the question for that one. That's the part for that one. So okay, F Young, your hand is up. Okay, F Young.
Okay. Can you hear me?
All right.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes. I wanted to know how you got the total revenue. Yes, total revenue. I didn't
Total
get
revenue.
that. Please.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to look. Elijah is Elijah. Your hand is up.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. My question is on the sales information worksheet. You know,
Yeah.
from the original file that we downloaded from the Google Drive.
Yeah.
If you go to the title there, the title, and that's the item there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you guys use the data validation there.
Yeah, that's what we use for the first question for the item data validation. So you want to create a drop down list.
And I get it. When I first did it, normally, you have the employee ID, but on that title itself, there is a data validation there showing item and showing pen, pencil, binder. You get. So I was thinking that okay, the column you're going to be putting, is it the employee ID, the name of the person, or the item?
Mm-hmm. Is the name of the item that will
Is it the item?
determine?
It is the name of the
Yeah,
item that will be there.
yeah, it's the name of the
But
item that will
the
be there.
name of the item, okay. Is it going to be, you get, we just have three items there. Is it going to be random?
Yeah,
You just pick them randomly,
yeah, it's random.
right?
Yes, you just pick them randomly. That's why I said just populate it with dummy variable. Just populate it. You're going to pick them randomly, but it won't go outside that particular item that we are selling.
Oh,
Yeah, just to fit the cells.
okay. Because that was what I first did. But
That's
when I
exactly.
now saw data validation there, so I just had to use the title. It is the title me I use when the one I submitted though. But I get it. I understand. All
Okay,
right.
sorry
Thank
for
you.
the miss. All right. So Bola Dale.
Because I was
This is
thinking
Bola. Yeah.
the title should not be this thing.
Okay. Sorry
All
about
right.
that. All right. So Bola Dale. Can we have you? Okay. I don't think he's there. I call this
Yeah,
segment.
good
Okay.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, I used X lookup instead of V
Yeah.
lookup and got same result. So I'm thinking, is there like an implication to doing that?
That's perfect. That's perfect. That means you're exploring. Yeah, you can use
Oh, okay.
VLOOKUP. I said, yeah, that's perfect. I said last time that XLOOKUP is like a brother to HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. So if you can use XLOOKUP for that
Yes.
same just thing.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So yeah, that's a very good thing. Yeah, well done. Okay. So I could say that.
Can you hear me, please? So my question
Second,
is, I'm lost. I'm actually lost.
yeah, we can hear you.
After you did your VLOOKUP for your unit course, so I wanted to ask,
You are lost.
how did you do your cell referencing for the unit cost and for the how did you do your cell reference? Because when I tried to like use like autofill for the items after the data validation, it's giving me the same text I pick for, like, for example, pencil. So right now I try to use autofill, so it's giving me all around pencil. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Okay, so I didn't get that, but I'll try to process it. So what you're saying is this, like from this item side now. So when you select the item, it's giving you the answer for pencil for everything.
No,
Right?
like
For the
it's
unit
giving me
cost.
the items. The items is giving me pens instead of pencil, binder, pen, something like that. So it's just giving me pencil, like all through pencil. Then I was trying to use the same VLOOKUP for the unit cost, but it's not working. I don't know.
So for this part now, if this thing is giving you pencil, that's there's something wrong. Is it that probably is the range that you select for it, you didn't capture all the range, like maybe this 36, this orange, you didn't capture everything. Or probably you are just filling up when you drag it down, when you try to drag everything down and it's pencil, everything will be pencil all through. Maybe that's what happened. For example, now when I'm dragging this thing down, I didn't select only pencil and drag everything down like this. So if I drag everything like this, I'm going to be getting pencil. So what I did was this: I select pencil from here, select the other one, which is probably binder, and come to the other one, select pen. So for me to just fill up the other cell, I have to select the three variable and just drag it down to get my answer. I don't know whether I get that part. Probably that's where the error is coming from.
Yes,
And
yes, I
for the
think
unit cost,
both
yeah, that's where the error is coming from. So for the unit cost, it's
okay, yes, I
just
think
getting
I've
the
gotten
formula.
the item side.
Yeah, okay. For the unit cost
Can
and
you
unit price,
explain
it's
the
just the formula that is
unit
not.
cost?
Probably we are going to send out this video again because of our time. We have a lot of things to cover. So everybody will have access to the video and you can go over it again. You understand? Because of the time. Okay, so do you have anybody hands up? I think I have someone and is it 8 August? Something. Someone was okay. Ganil.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Sorry to draw you back a bit. Sorry to draw you back.
It's fine.
I'm trying to calculate the total revenue from the sales information. So I was able to use VLOOKUP for the unit price. Then for the total cost, I think I multiply unit cost and unit price.
Yes.
Yes,
exactly. No,
okay,
unit for the
for
total cost. For the total cost is units is not is unit cost times quantity. Now the unit cost is just the cost of a particular product. So multiply by the total number of quantity, so that will give us total cost. And for the unit, for the revenue, is unit price times quantity. That will give us revenue.
Unit price times quantity.
Yeah, for the revenue. Unit price times quantity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the total profit, that will be
total revenue is total cost times
the profit
quantity,
is
right?
no, for the revenue, for the profit rather. Profit is revenue minus total revenue minus total cost.
Okay.
So this is example. Now. I'm going to show you something now. So if you check the formula here now, it is total revenue minus total cost. So that will give my profit. So I set up a business now. How much I used to set up a business is 30 naira, and the total money I made from it is 40 naira. So what is my profit? 40 minus 30. So that's the profit. So that is that part. Okay.
So total revenue is total revenue is
total revenue is the
price.
Unit price times quantity.
Times quantity. Okay.
Yeah. So that will give us 7. So that's okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now you're welcome. To the next question now, we said we already do VLOOKUP using now calculate the total sales amount for each employee in the payroll sheet. Yes, I know a lot of people might not really understand this, and a lot of people did it actually. I see some question. So I'm going to explain this part. To calculate the total sales amount for each employee in the payroll sheet. So for the payroll sheet now, I want to calculate what is the total sales amount that each employee has made, because that's what is going to determine the commission I'm going to give to them. And I know everybody can guess it. What we are going to use to calculate sales amount for each employee is the sum if. You understand now? Sum if is what we are going to use to calculate the total amount for each employee, and just a single formula. So let's just go there now. Sum if. What is the range? I explained last time that the range is the range of the criteria. So my criteria is under the sales thing. So I'm going to select the range. This is the employee range, right? So that's that. Now I have to lock it so that when I drag it won't be changing. Function F4. So just put dollar sign in front of it. So I've locked the range now. So the next one is, what is the criteria? The criteria is if the employee ID is equal to this, which is the EID1, that's in A2. You understand? And the next part is, okay, what is the range that you are
I
summing
just
up?
asked that which one do you like? And you say the green one.
What do you say?
And that's the one I like.
Hello? Please, can we pause me there? Okay, so now we've selected the criteria. The criteria is when the employee ID is equal to this one, A2. Now the sum range is the sales amount. Then we come to the sales information table. And what is the sales amount for each employee? Their sales amount is this, the total amount that they generated. This is their sales amount. So I'm going to select everything here. Then I have to lock that part. So I've locked it. So if I press enter now, so this is the total amount, sales amount made by this employee ID1. So this employee ID1 made $37,000. So to get the other one, I don't have to write the formula. I just drag it down. You can see that this is sales amount made by this employee. So if I had everything together, it should be equal to this total sales amount, this total revenue. So let's just try and add this thing up to see whether we're on track. And 309. So what do we have there? You can see it's the same thing. 309. And so that's why we get our sales amount by individual employee. Please, we all understand. Is there any question?
Please, can you go over it? Please, can you go over that part, please?
Okay. So now for this part now, I said I want to calculate the sales amount that individual employees has made. Because if you check the sales information, there is a particular employee that made a particular transaction. For example, this one made this one made this. So I want to calculate what the total amount, sales amount made by each employee, because that will determine the commission rate they are going to be getting. So for that one, it's going to be equals to, and we are using some if, and the range is the range of the criteria, and the range of the criteria is on the sales information, and this is the range of the criteria. When the employee ID is equal to 1, when the employee ID is equal to 2, when the employee ID is equal to 3, you select the range, you lock it, so that when you drag it down, the range will not be changing. That's the essence of locking, absolute referencing. Now the next one is the criteria. The criteria is if this particular sales amount is equal to employee ID 1. So we are referencing the cell because the value is already in the words in the cell. So instead of typing EID 1, I can just reference the cell to get the value. And the reason why you're referencing the cell is that so when I drag it down, it can be changing to maybe A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 to pick the employee that is corresponding to that particular sales amount. So that's that. And the next one is the sales information. Like, what's the sales amount? Sales amount is the total revenue for each employee. So you select this part. That's the total revenue by each employee. So select this part and press function for to lock it. That's that. And you can see now we get the sales amount for this one. So if I drag it down, so the whole essence of me locking it is this. I've locked the range of that particular table. So if I drag it down, it won't be changing from probably H3 to H45. It's going to be changing to H4 to H45. Because if it's changing, it's going to be missing the sales of a particular employee. So that's why you have to lock it. So for the locking, it's going to be referencing that particular range for everything that you're doing. If I drag this one down now, I get the sales amount for individual person. And that's that one. Now, for the commission value for the commission, this one should be commission rate. Now, for the commission value, this is their commission value here. So based on this commission table now, I want to determine what commission is each employee getting based on their sales amount. So to do that, I'm going to be using VLOOKUP for that. VLOOKUP. The lookup value now is the sales amount. And the table array is the commission table. So I'm going to select this. And I have to log this cell too. I've logged that part. Come on. So the next one is the column index. So the column index is the commission value is in column 2 of the table selected, like I said earlier. So 2. Now, this is the part where we have to now introduce another aspect. So for this one, I'm not going to be using exact match. I'm going to be using approximate match. Why is that? You notice that this thing is like a range. This partner is like a range. So if someone made a sales of maybe 0 to 69,000, he's not going to be getting anything. The commission rate is 0. So if you make a sales of 70,000 to 99,000 naira, 99 cents, then you are going to be getting a commission rate of 2%. So if you make sales of 100,000 to 149,000, you are going to be getting a commission rate of 5%. And you make the sales of 150,000, you're going to be getting a commission rate of 6%. So in this case, we are not using exact match. We are using approximate because this one is a range. So that's why we are using approximate. Select approximate match and click OK. So I press enter. Now, this one is getting a commission rate of 0 because it's below $70,000. So if I drag it for the other one, the only one that is making this getting commission rate is this one, employee ID 2 and 3, because their sales is 73,000 and 79,000 respectively. And if you check the commission rate table, it falls between this one, and that's why they're getting commission rates of that. So for that particular one now, after getting the commission rate, you can now calculate the total salary. Okay, probably this part I don't understand. So the total salary will now be the commission rates, the salary that they are getting, plus salary they are getting plus. Now, a lot of people might be confused in this part of, okay, what is now going on? So they are getting 2% of their sales amount for the first one, getting 2% of the sales amount. For those ones that didn't make anything, they are getting 0% of their sales amount. That would be initial salary into brackets. This one times this divided by 100. I don't know. Is someone getting my formula here?
No, sir. No, please.
Okay. Okay. So now, let me explain another concept here. So whenever you are creating a formula in Excel, Excel tends to follow the board margin. You understand? It follows the board margin when it's doing calculation. So it gives preference to some set of people. So for example, now, if I'm adding some number like A plus B minus C minus D, it follows the Bodman rules. It says like bracket first. So it tends to attend to the values in the bracket first before it goes to like of, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So you have to get that. So in this case now, I'm trying to get their commission amount for this one is the what? The percentage of their sales amount. For this one, 0% of 37,000 is the commission amount that is going to be getting. So for this one is 2% of this one. Because if you check the employee table, I already put at the top that under the commission rate that this one, the commission is in what? Is in percentage. So for this one now, it's going to be getting 2% of the total sales amount made. This one is going to be getting 2% of total sales amount made. So these commission amounts added to their salary will be their total salary after bonus. And to calculate that is going to be equals to initial salary, which is D2 plus. Now, for me to do the calculation of the percentage thing, I have to put it in brackets because I want Excel to attend to the one in bracket first. Then you cannot add the resulting answer to this. So that will now be this one, which is 0 divided by 100 plus, sorry, times this, brother. Another thing I want to do now is this. You see this F2, that is F2 divided by 100 too. I want to put them in brackets so that Excel can also reference that one and consider it when it's doing the whole thing. So I'm going to put this one in brackets. Now, first of all, divide the amount by 100 first before multiplying it by the amount. Then if I press enter here, do anybody get my formula? All the small magic that I just performed it. Any question on this part?
Yes, I got it. Yes.
So
you didn't get it.
No.
You don't understand. Okay.
Okay.
You didn't get it too. Now this is what we are trying to. Everybody, you are going to get it. I said Excel follows board mass. Let me put board mass. Let me type in board mass here. That means like he attends to the bracket first before going to the one of like raised power, then goes to division, then goes to multiplication, then goes to addition. So what I want to do now is this. I can create a separate column for it. Let me just create a separate column for it so that I can see. First of all, let me just insert a sheet here. Let's just do it out. Let me first of all calculate the commission amount. Maybe that will be better. Commission amount. So commission amount is going to be this. That will be divided by 100. Because this one is a percentage, so you have to divide it by 100. You get what I'm saying now? So percentage of 0 is like 0 divided by 100. So to convert it to percentage, that is that. Then after doing that, then you can now multiply it by the sales amount. But for what I want you to do is like I want you to deal with the one in bracket first, based on the board mass rule. So first of all, divide this value by 100 before multiplying it by the amount. That's why I have to put brackets here. So this one is getting 0 commission amount because it is 0. So if I try to do it for the other ones, so this is the amount that this one is getting. So for total salary, it's now be salary plus this sales amount. That total salary after bonus. And if you calculate for the rest, So what I just did was that I just merged the formula into one formula instead of creating separately. And that's how it is. Do you get this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes, understood.
Yeah. So that is the okay, Mr. Kintide, you have a question, sir.
Yeah, no, not a question. I want to call attention to something. If you go back to the questions 5 and 6, yeah,
Okay, sir.
if you don't mind, so that we
Okay.
can.
Okay, sir.
Question 5 and 6. The int, I don't know if this was deliberate or if it was an error. The int actually pointed the learners in what I, in my view, appear to be the wrong direction. If you look
Okay.
at question 5, the int
Okay.
says using VLOOKUP using approximate, whereas what was required there is actually some if for question 5.
Okay. For
To
each
calculate
employee.
the total sales amount for each employee, you understand? Because yes,
Okay.
in doing it, I did use some if, but I was a bit confused initially when I was like, because I was in my head, I was trying to figure out how do you use VLOOKUP. You understand? Then
Yes, yes.
question 6, this one that we just did, the int, you look at the int, says commission rate times salary rather than times the total revenue. So
yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
I was wondering if it was deliberate, even though I did use this time salary, but in my mind I knew it should have been times the total revenue. So I just wanted to find out, was this done deliberately so people learn, or was it just an innocent error?
It's an innocent error. Sorry everyone for that mistake. It's an innocent error. Thank you so much, sir, for that part. Please, it's an innocent error. It's sorry. I know this might have confused a lot of people, and that's a lot of people are kind of confused on what to do and how to go about it. So it's just an innocent error. Sorry. So that's the way to go. That's good to answer the question. Sorry about that part. Oh God. Okay. Thank you, sir, for that. Okay, so let's go to the next part of the question. So after calculating the sales amounts and the commission rate for each employee, so the next thing we want to do now is we want to calculate the total sales amount made in 2021 and 2022. So that's the next part. So we've actually finished up this part. So the next part is, so we want to calculate the total cost, total revenue and total profit for each employee in 2021 and 2022. So for this part now, we are going to be using some if to calculate, okay, what's the total sales amount for 2020, total cost for 2021, total revenue for 2021, and total profit for 2021. So this one we're going to be using some if, and I'm very, very sure we're all familiar with some if. So it's going to be some if. So I'm going to go to the total cost, select the total cost. Okay, so log this part too. Function 4. Sorry, it's the range that comes first. Sorry. It's not the sales amount. So we are actually putting the range first. That's the range criteria. So it's going to be equals to some if. Then we go to the sales amount. So now to get the criteria we're going to be using to get total sales for 2021 and 2022 is actually the order date. So if I select the order date now, you can see the order date there. And so that we can know that, okay, this is sales amount for 2021, 2022. So we're going to be using the order date. So function effort just to log the part. So after doing that, so the next one is now, what is the criteria? I think a lot of people miss this part. Now the criteria is this: to get the sales for 2021. That means we have to when the order date is what? When the order date is less than or equals to a particular range of dates. So what I'm going to do now is when the order date is, put it in quotes, when the order date is less than, that's what we're going to be using. When the order date is less than, so the last is less than the first day of 2022. So when the date is less than the first day of 2022, that will give us that sales for 2021. And the first day of 2022 is just 1/1 2022. Really good. Then the last part now be the summary. Summary you for the one is total cost. Select it. Function F4. And close the brackets. And that's that. So this is the total cost made for 2021. Is anybody have questions as regard that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for the detailed class. On this, when I was trying the answering the question, what I actually did was to separate the year.
Okay, you extract the year, put in a column, right?
Yes, to separate the year, let the year stand alone on a separate column.
Yes.
And with that, the years will be very clear. You now use your for criterion for the criteria. You cannot choose either 2021 or 2022, and the work will be very easy.
Very easy. Yeah, thank you so much. So that's another way to go about it. There's so many ways to like provide an answer to function in Excel. So what he said is this, and it's actually a very good way too. So you can just create a column. Yeah. Sorry. So you create the column and it says information that is for year column. So you can create that one and you can just select okay, when the year is this. So either way, it will also give you the same answer. So that is that part. For that one. So hello? Someone talking. Okay. So that is that part. So the next part is you can just apply this one for the other cells to get your value. If I apply to this for total revenue now, because if you check my sales information, they actually arrange in orderly manner. So they arrange in orderly manner. So I want to do something whereby if I drag the formula to the other cells, it's going to give me my answer. So what I can do is this. If I come here and I'm not going to tamper with the date column because it's going to be there. So what I'm going to tamper with is this what's it called now? I'm going to tamper with the range of this one, like G3 to G45. So I can actually probably remove the value from the G. Let's, for example, now I try to remove the value from G here, the dollar sign from G, just not locking the column so that it can adjust when I drag it. I drag it to the other cell. And I can get my corresponding answer for this. And that is one way to go about it, instead of like typing the formula one after the other. So you can also do that. So for the year 2022, you can also write the same formula for that. That's just some if the criteria range is still the order dates. So locking the order dates using F4. So the next one is the criteria in this case now. So if I'm to use, so either you create a column for a year, or you can also like tweak the whole formula in this case now. So in this case, like I said, instead of less than 1, like I said, greater than 31st of December 2021. So any value that is greater than 31st of 2021, that's like for 2022. You understand? That's another logic. Or you can create a year column for that. So I'm going to be doing so for this now will be 1. So the month is coming first. 31st, sorry, greater than 1, 31st, 2021. So that's that. So 1, 31st, 2021. Then you can now sum the range that you want to sum together, which is the total cost too. And can apply one sign to this. I close this. I'm getting my answer. So to drag it to the other cells, I can easily just remove the dollar sign G, so that when I drag it, it's going to be changing from G to H to high like that. And that's that. So that is the solution for this part. So the last part now is, which we have here, is this one asking with some ifs. Now, why do I say some ifs is this? We are testing two conditions here. So I want to get the total cost if the product is spent for the year 2021. You understand now? So it's quite, this one is some ifs. You are testing two conditions. So if this one is equal to this and that is equal to that, so that's why you're testing the two conditions for that. So I have some people hands up. Miss Olua, you have some questions?
Yes. When you dragged, you lost me when you dragged that total cost to total revenue to total profits. Because why did we lock it in the first place? Like, why did we lock the what's the last part? Why did we lock it in the first place? And
Okay,
you
yeah.
get
I'll take that basket. Aiden, you have a question? Aiden, you have a question? Okay, so we're going to take Yusuf. Yusuf, your hand is up.
Sign, please, what does it indicate?
What's that?
The dollar sign you
Yeah,
imputed in your function key.
dollar sign is actually for locking yourself.
For
So that's what it's used for locking cells or column. So
okay, for
maybe,
locking cells.
yeah, for locking cells. So that's what it's used for. So now is that all for question?
No, I have a question.
Okay, all right.
Go back to how you calculated the sales for 2022.
Okay. So this is the
Yeah, total cost. You said for the date, you said as long as it's less than the 31st.
no, greater than the 31st, 2022, greater than the 31st of, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. So 31st of December. Thank you.
Okay, but after correcting that, I still have another question.
Okay. So what's the next question?
Now, you did this because you only have 2 years, right?
Exactly.
If
Yes.
you had a larger time period, I'm not sure that this will work because we'll come up with everything less than that period, not just for that year. So how would you
So
recommend solving
uh,
that?
so for that part actually, so I have two ways. I can actually do it with this method by using the and. You know, when you're combining two conditions together, I can actually do it this like adding and, like, okay, when this thing is less than this and it's greater than this. So because, for example, I have 3 years now, like 2020 to 2025, for example. So if I'm actually calculating for probably 2023 alone and I have 2025, I can say, okay, when the date is greater than or equals to maybe the first day of 2023 and less than or equals to the last day of 2023. You understand? I'm converting a range, so that's that. Another method can be the easier way
Sorry,
can
you're
be just
breaking up. I
creating a
can't
column,
really
a
hear
year
you.
column. You understand? It's like just, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's
how about can
better.
you hear me clear now? Okay, so the thing is this, so for you to do that, let's say for example, we have a year from 2020 to 2025, and you only want to do for 2023. So what you can do is this: you can use the AND function with this condition. There's AND, whereby I can say, okay, when the other date is greater than or equals to the first day of January 2023 and less than or equals to the last day of 2023. Do you get that?
Yes, that's fair. Thank you.
Yeah. Or you can add a column. You can add a year column like Kasmi suggested. That would be much more easier. Okay, so that is
All right, thank
that
you.
part. So yeah, Kiri. So Now that's that for that. So for this cost, product and cost thing now is we are going to be using some ifs because we are dealing with two conditions. Like I said earlier, that when you are dealing with two conditions, you use some ifs. So for some ifs now, this so I'm calculating the total cost, total revenue, total profit for pen for the year 2021. So it goes to some if now the sum range for us, that's like our total cost range. So we're going to add up this one. Total cost range. Now the next one is the criteria range. So the criteria range is the date. So when the date is like we did that one. This one is for 2021. So when the date is actually greater than the less than that. Sorry. So let's look at this point. So after looking at this comes out when the is less than first row. So that's that. So that's criteria number one. So criteria number two is our item column. The item column. So we're going to select the item column. So for the item, I can just come here and set function. For this one, I can just say when the item is equal to pen, just select pen. Select the pen. Close the bracket. So yeah, let me draw a pen. Press enter. Let me get this. So I have someone raising a question there. So Steven, I'll meet you.
All right, thank you. Please, this song is please you have to go over it. Also, when for example when we are working with different sheets,
Yeah.
when for example you
Yes.
have inputted the formula and then you have to go to the to a sheet to get the maybe the array or the stuff.
Yeah.
Then you want to go back to the sheet you are working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to press the sheets, but I found out that the sheets used to reflect in the formula I'm computing. So how do you used to do it?
So when you click on it, and I get you. So whenever you are dealing with multiple sheets, whenever you click on the sheet, automatically the sheet name pops up. For example, now if I come back to this, probably I'm selecting my information on sales. Sorry, I'm selecting the data from sales information, and I come back to probably the payroll sheet. Automatically, it's going to show the payroll. So if I don't need the payroll at that time, I can delete the payroll from it. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. You just delete the payroll name.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so for this one again now, I'm going to go over this so that everybody can have better understanding of it again. So we are using some ifs. Please let's pay attention for this. So for some ifs, what comes first for some ifs is the range that you are adding together. The range of the value that you're adding together. That's the first thing that comes up for the some ifs. So and after that, you go to your sales information and first of all add the range. So I'm adding the total cost. So I'm going to like select the total cost table and I first lock the cell range. So after locking the cell range, that's the column we're adding. So it's asking for the criteria range. The criteria range is firstly we are considering the year. So the year, that's what we are considering for. So I'm going to select the order date column to set my criteria for this. That's the first criteria range. And what's the criteria for this range? It is when the value is less than January 1st, 2022. So when the other date is less than January 1st, 2022, that's like 2021. So add up everything together. So that's that. And after doing that, put the criteria. So the next one is like the criteria two. Criteria two that we are using is the item. So when the year is 2021 and the item is equal to 10, for the first one, we select the item column here. And you can put some looking for this one too. Now, so what is the, after selecting the criteria range, what is the criteria for this one? So when the item is equal to pencil, I can just select the pen cell. Sorry, equals to pen. I can just select the cell because the values are actually inside the cell. So I just select the cell. And after that, just close the brackets. So we state our condition that okay, when it's equal to 2021 and when the product is equal to pen, then calculate the total cost for that particular item. Then we get that one for this, which is 27,920. So now another thing is now adding this particular item to the other one just to get my value is where we think needs to do now. So if I want to drag it to the other cell, the range of the value is G3 to G45, and I've logged the entirety of the range G3 to G45. Now the catch there is this: if I come to sales information, I'm calculating total cost, revenue, and profit, and they're actually aligned. So G, H, and I. So I can actually remove the locking from the G so that when I drag the cells to the other phone, it's going to be switching from G to H and to I. I think someone asked that question the other time. So what I need to do is just remove the locking from the G. So as I apply locking to the G now, if I drag it to the other cell across the column, it will not be changing. It's going to be referencing that G3 to G45. But if I remove the locking from the G and I drag it to the other cell, it's going to be referencing, when I take it to the next one, it's going to reference H3 to H45. To the next one, I3 to I45. But make sure you don't remove the locking for the row. So that's the first catch for this. And press enter. So if I drag this to other side. Now another thing is I have to lock this what's it called now? This pen. Because if the pen is not locked. So if I drag the pen to the other side, it's going to be changing from A2 to B2. So I have to put some locking here. And how do I lock that one? It's just function F4. Oh, okay. So how do I lock this one? We put it there. Function F4. That one has been locked. So if I press enter and I drag the formula to the other cell, I'm getting nothing. So where is this thing coming from now? A3 to A45. The information. Okay. I know where the issue is coming from now. So if you check this A3 to A45, which is the sales information. Oh, sorry, the order date. I didn't log the order date, so I have to log the order date so that it's going to change it. Let's try that again. And that's that. For the first one. So I think I'm going to be taking questions now. As you got this part that we just treated. So anybody has any question as you got that? Okay.
All right, sir. Please, can you go over this some ifs again? I didn't get it at all. I think I had network issues. The screen was static, so I didn't see what you were doing.
Okay. All right. Another question. Someone was asking, can't we do it separately? Like, I didn't get that part. Like, what are you referring to? Okay. So for the sum if, I'm going to do it for the other cells too. So let's do it for 2022 so that we can understand this one better. Okay. Yeah, we can do it separately, but the whole essence of actually using the Excel thing is just automated process. You don't want to go from one cell to the other, right? So that's why it's actually better too. But let's do this other one again. Sum ifs. So I want to calculate the total sales amount total cost for pen for 2022, for the year 2022. So the range now is, sorry, sum ifs, not sum if. So the sum range, go to the sales information, and it is the total cost, which is the first one. So I have to clear that. I can put some working on that. Okay, 4. So the next part is criteria range. So criteria range is the order date for the first one, which is the date. So select the order date range. And I'm going to apply some locking in the other date range too. And what is my criteria for the other date? So this one is year 2022. So it will be if the sales is greater than 12 December, that's the 1st of December 2021. When the sales is greater than 1st of December 2021, that's not sure I can add them all and press enter. So the next one is the second criteria. The second criteria is if this thing is equal to pen. That's the first one. So log this part. Okay. Promotion. So let's go over this thing again. So the first thing is that when you are using some ifs, the first part you are going to like put in is the range of the cells you are adding together. So the sales of the cells you're adding together will be the first thing, which is the total cost in this case. Now the next one is the criteria. If you are using some ifs, I said that one deals with multiple conditions when you're adding multiple conditions together. For example, when this condition A is true, when this condition B is true, that's when you should add the top for B. So that's it. So the first condition is if the order date, if sales for the year 2022. So I want you to calculate total sales, total cost for the year 2022 for pen or item alone. So that is if the date is equal to 2022. And the next one is like if the item is equal to pen. So for this one, I've already put the criteria range. I'll just select if the item is equal to pen. So if I press enter for this one, I should get the one for pen. So that is the sum if. And this condition is not restricted to just 2 conditions. It can be 3 conditions depending on what you want actually, or what you're trying to solve. It can be 3 conditions, it can be 3 criteria, 4, 5, or anything like that. So you have more than 1 criteria or conditions. That's when you use sum ifs. And you just have to keep adding them and putting the value one after the other. And that's how that one really work for the sum ifs. And you can get that for the pencil, pen, binder. I don't want us to be going through all these things. It's just like same formula method. So you can get that for pen, pencil, and everything like that. So that's that. So please, any question as regard that also? Okay. I can see your answer.
Yeah, my question is,
Okay.
if you have more than 2 years, because I know you
Yeah.
tried to explain it that time, but you didn't really do a practical demonstration of using a formula to calculate ranges in between. Like if you have 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, up to 2025, how do we now calculate those other dates in between without using less than or greater than?
Okay, so the first part is that you can create a column. You can create a column separately that is going to extract the year. That's first solution. And I think that one is like one of the easiest ways to calculate that for a lot of people. But if you wanted to like stick with the formula route, probably you want to write the formula. Yeah, you can also do that by using the ampersand. That is and. You know, when we're talking about conditional statement, we say we have if, and, if, or. So now, if I'm trying to type in the condition, I can just type in something like this. For this year, let me choose one that is actually very easy for this. So for the year, I can just type in, okay, when the year is less than or equals to this, and to add the another condition, I'm going to put and for you to use the and in Excel, you use the ampersand. And you know what the ampersand is? This thing that looks like 8. You understand? So when the year is less than this, so it will be, so if, let's say I have the year 2020 to 2025 now, and I want to calculate for only 2023. So what you need to understand in that part is this: to calculate for 2023, that means it will be if the year or if the date is greater than or equals to the 1st of January 2023. If the year is greater than or equals to the 1st of January 2023, and the same date is less than or equals to the last day of 2023, that's the 1st of December 2023, then it's going to give you the formula in 2023 range. I don't know whether you get that part. And to add the and, it is you put the ampersand. So that's the and. Then you put your next condition after this one. Are you okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's this. That's that. Okay. I have Steven. Steven.
All right. Thank you. For the conditions, can I interchange it? For example, now, for that one, we started with
Other
getting
days.
the age 10. Then we ended up with pen. Now, can I start with pen? Then
Yes, you can.
then do the age last.
Yeah, you can interchange your start with anyone. Yes, you can start with anyone. It's still gonna work.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. So that is that part for this. So actually I wanted to say we are really sorry uh for the miscommunication sorry for the error in the assignments. Really, really sorry for that. We don't really necessary. So that's that. So for this question and answer for the or solution to the assignment, that will be all. But if you have any questions before time is up, please you can bring your it might not be related to the assignment, but related to what you have been taught already before anything like that. So we can attend to that now. Any other question?
Okay. Sorry. Good afternoon.
Yeah. All right.
Please, there was this thing that someone was emphasizing on. Please, can you just show us how to insert a sheet like to split your date from it? I tried doing it yesterday, but I was getting something else.
To split your date,
From
like
the
extract year
like
from the
extract the year from the date.
yeah, that one is quite easy though. So for you to extract the year from the date, I'm coming. Casimir, please just a minute. Let me just quickly answer this part. So to extract the year from the date, just come to the sales and the sales information. To this date, you can enter this part now. Insert the row. So what you need to do is equals to year. Just extract the year and put enter. Wait, is that formatted? Done. This formatted as well. So it's in general. So we are coming now equals to year. And you get your year like that. So that's how you can get the year. Is that
Okay.
you're welcome.
Thank you. It was giving me the other previous listing that before you
Oh,
corrected it. I'm
okay,
sorry.
okay. Yeah, is the format. The format of the column is a date. So you have to change it to general so that you can get your file like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Casimir, I can have a question.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate. What I'm asking is not based on what you've taught us so far, but then on a general note, is
Okay.
related to your data ecosystem.
Okay.
So, you know, in virtually all the data sets we are using, you normally have either customer ID, employee ID, product ID.
Yeah.
Then all these IDs at times when looking at it, it's not making sense
Yeah.
to a common man.
Yes.
But then I ask, assuming I want to set up a business or somebody asked me to come and set up a data department, for instance, and you know most small organizations will want you to do the work of a data analyst and a data scientist, also as a data engineer.
Yeah. Yes.
So if I'm asked to set up this, how do I generate all this product ID, employee ID, and a customer ID? So how do I really generate them? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So now the question you ask is a very big question. It depends on like a lot of things. It depends on the amount of data that you are expecting, like that you're going to be getting. If it's a very large organization or a small organization that you're dealing with that amount of data, you might not be able to do that on your own. You understand? Whereby the program has already been done on in database, whereby whenever anybody interacts with a database, probably I went to an e-commerce website to buy something. This is just a small data. Whenever you interact with it, and it checks that you are new to that particular business, it's going to generate an ID for you automatically. Just like you are getting an index, like okay, when someone come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for you to generate that one on your own, actually, it's something. What you can do is this. Probably you can create it in such a way whereby after getting the customer information, you can look for 2 columns there in their name that is distinct. Maybe their birth name or birth date or their something that is unique about them. You have to look for a unique column. So you have to like look for it. So probably I'm taking their birth month and their probably the first letter of their name. So I'm merging them together. So to create an ID for this particular one so that everyone will be distinct. Do you get that? That is one way to create that. But on a normal graph, it is not actually expected for us to create it. It's the work of database to just generate it. You will have set it in database if you want to generate the product ID or something like that. But if it's not that large, if the product is not that large, you just have to give it a number. If it's a customer now, you can say, okay, maybe they are the months of their birth months, and particularly probably their last digit of their phone number or something. Something that is distinct, that is going to be distinct for everything. Because the customer ID has to be distinct. Each customer must have a distinct ID. When the customer has the same, two customers have the same ID, there's a problem. So that is how you can generate that database. Was that really?
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Welcome. So, Felicity. Felicity. Okay. I think Felicity is available. Stevie. Okay. Stevie, let's
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. During that section where one of the attendee was correcting you on the assignment, I was not there. I was working on the worksheet. So please, what was the mistake and what did you say?
So the mistake was this actually. Sorry. So so for the question now, this part should be it shouldn't be VLOOKUP. It should be some if. You understand now? For this part now, we are not using VLOOKUP, we are using some if. For this first part, the int is actually wrong. And for this part, the second part, is not commission rate times salary, it's commission rate times sales amount. That's the two correction I made. Do you get that?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so that will be all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for taking out your time to just be in this class, and I hope you learned something. Yeah, Felicity, what's the question? Because we're ending up now. Can we quickly take that?
I just wanted to know the difference between the V lookup and the H lookup. I'm having some confusion there.
So VLOOKUP is just when the table is arranged horizontally, vertically. For example, now this is an example of VLOOKUP when the table is arranged vertically. This table is arranged vertically like this. You can see it's checking from up to down. But if the table is arranged horizontally, that's when you use HLOOKUP. So it's the arrangement of the table array that determines whether to use VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. But they do the same thing.
That is the horizontal method now. Or if the table is arranged horizontally,
Yeah, let me show you.
that is you use H lookup.
Yes. So for example now, this is an example.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. So an example of
So now this okay.
so this is an example of HLOOKUP. Now see the table is arranged horizontally. So that
okay.
you use HLOOKUP for this, you use VLOOKUP for this. So it depends on the arrangement of the table. So that's what determines what you use. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. So we are going to be releasing the video for this week. So this week we're going to talk about data cleaning. So we release the video on Monday, and we're going to be getting the assignments on Monday. So thank you for your time. If you have any other question, you can send it to us. Probably we are going to open the group today so that everybody that has any question can drop it or anything, and everybody can just tend to like ask questions from each other to interact. Yeah, you are going to get the video. You're going to get the video too. We're going to send the video to everybody. So thank you for your time. Cheers the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir.